Morning, church family. I hope that everybody is well today. This morning we are looking at Luke chapter 13, verses 18 to 30. And in this section, Jesus answers the question, what's the kingdom of God like? And it's such a good question, isn't it? I think sometimes we spend so much time, don't we, thinking about what it might be like when the kingdom of God comes to the places we work, the homes we live in, the schools our children go to. What would it be like for the kingdom of God to come in those places? And both of Jesus's examples talk about multiplication. Now, a mustard tree is probably not a tree that you've seen because it tends to grow in much hotter, drier climates than we have. And if the last week is anything to go by, drier climate is not something that we're going to have anytime soon. But what's really impressive about this tiny seed is just that it's minuscule. It's incredibly tiny, and it grows to a tree that is about 20 feet tall and 20 feet wide. It multiplies just exponentially. And the same is true for the yeast that's added to the dough. I'm sure that many of the sourdough bakers out there will know this, that the great thing about yeast is its ability to multiply. It starts off as a teeny tiny particle, and when you add it into dough, when you add it to flour, it expands, it takes up more space. And isn't that an amazing piece of imagery for when we think about the kingdom of God? That it expands, that everything it touches increases, that goodness and mercy and love expands as the kingdom of God comes into places. And isn't that something that we want for our own lives? The second half of that passage, Jesus talks about those people who really do believe that they are going to get into the kingdom of God, and then actually they arrive and realise that they haven't found the right way in. And he talks about this narrow gate, doesn't he? That narrow gate is Jesus. We can oftentimes find lots of ways to try and be Christian, do the right thing, say the right thing, be in the right places. But that isn't what Jesus calls us to. He calls us to come and seek after him first, to come and run after who he is, because he is the way, the truth, and the life. There is no other way into the kingdom except through the cross. And so while I was pondering on these verses, and I was thinking, okay, so what's in that for us? And I think it's this, that actually sometimes we can get distracted by the things that are happening around us. But actually, our first priority, our main priority, is to seek after his face, to be part of to want to be in his presence, to want to be doing the things that he's doing, being in the places that he is, because where he is, that's where the kingdom of God comes. It's his presence that brings that into being. It's his presence with us as we go to work, as we go to school, as we go on holidays, as we're in the supermarket. It's his presence that brings the kingdom of God. So if you have that desire to see God's presence, his kingdom multiplied in the places that you are, then seek his face first. Get to know him more, spend time with him, interact with him, talk to him, find out about what's on his heart, because that's the place of multiplication. Church, I hope that you have a fabulous day and that it's not as rainy as it is today when I'm actually recording this, and that you have a really wonderful time today. God bless you all. Take care. Bye-bye.